Well, would you look at that?
What am I looking at?
Coming from the abyss, we are in the garage, and that can mean only one thing.
What can it mean?
It must be below freezing outside.
It is below freezing. It was below 0 when I came over here, but now it's up to a warm 2 degrees Fahrenheit.
We don't have heat in the garage if this is the first time of you following us, so you could call us two of the most idiotic car mechanics in the world, because the only time that we do something maintaining our cars is when it's freezing outside.
It's always when it's cold, and it's always slightly unbearable.
But we have a fantastic heater here, and although like my facial sense would say it's cold, in my heart when I'm with you, it might as well be 80 degrees. Welcome back to the channel. Awkward high five. What are we doing today?
Today we are removing the summer tires from the Cayenne and putting on the winter tires. Because it's January and some reason we still have the summer tires on.
Because we just got back from Alabama and we take this workhorse of a vehicle with us there. Speaking of which, as we do this tire change, because that could be somewhat boring, we're going to fill the entire time with some amazing, fun facts and figures. And let's get into it. So, the nice thing about a wheel is prior to the wheel being introduced, it was a square. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, about 3,800 to 4,200
If you're going to do the facts, it's 3,500 to 4,200 BC.
We created the wheel, which has been so amazing for so many of us. Can you imagine having a square wheel and bouncing up and down like this? And now when we created the circle, it just goes nicely round.
What you doing there?
Interesting fact, Tyler.
Okay.
When you torque a bolt
Yep.
for a Porsche Cayenne of the vintage 2017, the spec is 118 foot-pounds, right?
Okay.
Why does that matter? Why don't you just crank it
Until it's tight.
Until it's tight. Just use this guy until it stops going. Here's why. When you're putting a bolt into the hub, what you're doing is at 118 foot-pounds of torque, these threads are actually being stretched
Ever so slightly.
on some sort of level. And what does that do?
It causes the bolt to be at the optimal point, and with that amount of stretch and friction, it causes the wheel to not move. It's actually friction that holds your wheel in place so it doesn't go up or down or fall off. The bolts don't actually hold it in place. They hold it to make it get the friction it needs to keep it in spot.
Another fun fact that I wouldn't really fact check me too much on, but the Volkswagen Auto Group, Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, Lamborghini, Bugatti, they use bolts that go into the hub instead of having studs that you put a nut on.
Yep.
The reason why that happens, and again this is semi-factual, maybe 100% factual, is because when you put a bolt into the hub and torque it down, it does not need to be retorqued.
Cool.
When you have the stud coming out of the hub and you put a nut on, even though it may seem like the same practice in theory, something can happen there with an aluminum wheel where you would need to retorque it potentially.
Interesting.
Semi-factual news from Turn 5.
You know, it's pretty amazing. These wheels are the same wheels that were on the old 2008 Cayenne GTS, and they just work great still.
It's really amazing how interchangeable Porsche parts are.
What are you doing? That's not the old Cayenne GTS wheel. That is the old 986 Boxster wheel I bought for winters for my 987 Cayman.
It fits! Everything on a Porsche will fit. In fact, I have a new intake plenum that we're going to put on this.
Oh, is that so?
I have an exhaust system.
No, so this fits based on stuff, but it doesn't actually because the weight limit on that wheel is definitely not designed for the Cayenne.
Fine, I'll put on this one. But
Okay.
it is really nice to know that you can have parts left over from
Our lighting source has crashed.
a previous car. As long as you stay with the Cayenne platform, the old winter tires or summer tires would fit on your new Cayenne, which is really fantastic. Like Jeremy Clarkson would say, we did a thing.
We did a thing, but we didn't end on a bombshell.
We did not end on a bombshell, but we did put the winter tires on. We got them all aired up to the correct PSI.
Yep.
We even went into the system and changed the computer so that it knows that we have 19-inch winter tires on.
Yep, instead of the 20-inch, all seasons.
We did the thing.
Yep, we did it all. And that's something that you have to make sure to do every time you change your tires on a Porsche, is to change it to the correct tire type, because otherwise your speedometer will read incorrectly.
It is very sunny out, but it is also very cold.
Yes.
So I will leave you with an awkward high five. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Send us a little extra money so that we can heat up.
Yeah, buy our merch. That's how you can send us money, is buying our merch.